Today we are discussing about IT 6405 subject, that means e-business applications under Bachelor of Information Technology degree program. So we are discussing about the content, the syllabus of that subject, as well as the questions from the past papers. So we are very happy to have several students of our University of Columbus School of Computing with us to participate in this discussion. So we move on to the content of this session today. Basically we are discussing about some introduction to the IT 6405 course, and then the content and how to prepare for the examination. So this e-business application subject is an optional course. That means the students can decide whether to continue or not to continue this course, and this course has contains 3 credits. So this course is planned to be conducted over 45 lecture hours. So at the end of this e-business applications course, the students will get a sound understanding of the applications as well as the technologies in e-business techniques. So there are a lot of information that you can get through the virtual learning environment. So you can access the VLE through vle.bit.lk website. So these are the learning outcomes that we expect a particular student has to have at the end of the course. First one is the student should be able to describe the concepts in e-business, such as e-business applications, marketing on the web, the new revenue models and latest payment mechanisms, and legal issues related to business to customer as well as the business to business applications. Second one, realize ethics and professional issues in an e-business environment. Next, the student should be able to prepare themselves to decide on strategic business decisions. That means how to take strategic business decisions related to e-business applications, and also they should be able to prepare themselves to work in an e-business environment in local content as well as in the global content. At the end of this subject, the student also should be able to enhance their ability to take a particular company through the e-business transformation process. So those are the learning outcomes that we expect to have a particular student at the end of this course. These are some recommended readings. There are a lot of resources available on the web, but out of those content we have selected 3 particular references for your reference. So let's see what are the content of this e-business applications subject. First topic is Introduction to e-business. This topic is planned to be conducted over 3 hours. So this topic contains the basic concepts of e-business technologies, and it describes advantages as well as the disadvantages of e-business. It identifies parties involved in e-business and describe how to get the e-business services out of the e-business applications that we use, and also it relate e-business success stories from Sri Lanka as well as overseas countries. Second topic is e-marketplaces. This topic will be conducted over 4 hours, and it describes the concepts of private e-marketplaces as well as the public e-marketplaces. Then the third topic, the commercial use of the internet and the World Wide Web. This particular topic also will be conducted over 3 hours. So it identifies traditional business models and the new business models in e-business applications, and it describes the technologies enabling new business models such as the direct to customer interaction, mass communication, and virtual organization, and so on. Then the topic 4, it is about e-business applications. This is also conducted over 3 hours, and it describes the driving forces for change in e-business, identifies technological advancements, and describe traditional and new value chain model, and also it identifies the new strategic changes in e-business applications. So under this topic, we are also discussing about the driving forces to change, such as technical forces, business driven forces, and so on. And also you can find customer disruption models, product disruption, price disruption, and intelligent agents. Such content also will be covered under this e-business applications topic. Then topic 5, business strategies for e-commerce. This topic is a little bit longer, so it will be conducted over 8 hours. So it contains how to describe business processes, identify the impact of ICT on internal and external business processes, and also it describes the e-business roadmap. So these are the content of the business strategies for e-commerce topic. Then topic 6, revenue models for e-business on the web. It contains 4 hours, and it describes new e-business models, and also it identifies the benefits of each model to customer as well as the business organizations. So these e-business models are the models like direct to customer model, supply chain model, full service provider model, revenue sharing model, and digital value hub and global trade platform. So we will be discussing the benefits of each and every model to the customer as well as to the business organization. Then the topic 7, marketing on the web. It is also will be conducted over 4 hours. So it will describe the web marketing strategies and the market segmentation. So these two topics, the several concepts and applications will be discussed under these two categories during this topic. And then topic 8, B2C interactions and B2B collaborations. So during this topic, we will describe the collaborative strategies that we can use on the web in B2C and B2B collaborations. So we will discuss the collaborative strategies when threat of new entrants is high. That means under the Michael Porter's 5 forces, we are describing how we can use different strategies to overcome the Michael Porter's 5 forces analysis. So that means we can describe the strategies we can use when the new entrants are high, and when the rivalry among competitors are high, and also when the power of suppliers are high, as well as the bargaining power of buyers are high, and when the number of substitutes are high in a particular e-business environment. And then topic 9, e-business transformation. It also a bit longer, so it will be conducted over 8 hours. This particular topic describes about the 7 E's in e-transformation, right? 7E model of the e-transformation. That means this 7 stages. First stage, environmental analysis. Second stage, e-business goals and strategies. Third one, e-readiness. Fourth one, e-transformation roadmap. Fifth one, e-transformation methodology. Sixth, e-systems. Seventh, evolution change management. So those 7 stages are described under this e-business transformation topic. And then the last one, online auctions, virtual communities, and evolving concepts in the Sri Lankan context. This topic is also conducted over 8 hours. It describes different basics of e-auctions, and also it describes web auction strategies, virtual community and portal strategies, cloud computing, customer relationship management, supply chain management, knowledge management. Likewise, a lot of concepts are described under this topic. At the end of this topic, we describe about the e-readiness in Sri Lankan context as well as the foreign context. So those are the content of this e-business applications module. So you can have a look at the content over the virtual learning environment, and you can get to know how you are going to study this course and what are the content that you will be studying during this course. So next we will see what are the questions that the student can get during the final examination. So I have selected several questions from last 3 years past papers, and we will discuss what are the errors or what are the mispoints that the students have done during the examination. So first question, you can see the question asks, using 2 examples, briefly explain how digitization of products have changed the way e-business works. This is the question. You have to use 2 examples and explain how digitization of products have changed the way e-business works. So this question have 20 marks. So it asks to write 2 examples. So 10 marks are given to 1 example. That means you have to write the example and then you have to discuss how the digitization of those products have changed the way e-business is working. So I have given a sample answer. So first example, you can take music. Music is the first example. So then earlier, before the e-business came to place, the music tracks were recorded in tapes or cassettes. So you can't access them in the internet. So now they are recorded in CDs as well as MP3 tracks. So you can download over the websites and then you can just put it into your phones or MP3 players and you can listen. So first, in the earlier days, the cassettes are available only in shops. So you have to go to the shop and buy, and then you have to listen. But now you don't have to go to a shop and buy. You can just download and play. So that is how the digitization of the products have changed the way that business is happening. This is one example. So 10 marks are given to providing the example and how you are describing the way that the product has changed and how that change is happened to change the way the business is functioning. And the next example, you can take books. Right, before hard copies were there, but now you can find soft copies. Right, those soft copies are available on the websites, so you can just download and read. Right, sometimes you have to pay for the e-books, but sometimes you can find there are PDF files that you can just download and read. Right, so those are the changes that happened to the products after digitization and how the business has been changed according to the product changing. And another sample question, question 2, it asks to illustrate and describe the benefits of the following e-business models to the manufacturer and the customer separately. So they have asked to discuss about 3 models: direct to customer model, revenue sharing e-business model, and full service provider model. So the question asks to illustrate and describe, right? So when you get a question like this, you have to first draw the diagram, right? It asks to illustrate and then to describe. So first you have to draw the diagram and then you have to describe what is the question is asking. So 20 marks are given for each part. So 20 marks will be divided into 2, 5 and 13 likewise. That means to draw the diagram, particular marks will be given, to the description the other part is given. So the students have to be careful to draw the diagram, because we find in the answer scripts the students do not draw the diagram, they just write the description. So the students won't never get the complete full marks for this type of questions, because they do not draw the diagram, right? So that is the issue of these type of questions when you get to the examination. So let's see one example. I have taken the direct to customer model. So for 20 marks you have to draw the diagram and then you have to discuss how this model benefits to the manufacturer as well as to the customer, right? So first you have to draw the diagram. This is the traditional business model. First you can see supplier, then the supplier provides raw materials to the computer manufacturer. Manufacturer produces the product and then it goes to the distributor and then it goes to the dealer. At the end, dealer provides products to the customer. There are so many middle parties between supplier and the customer. That is the traditional business model. But in the direct to customer model, supplier just provides raw materials to the manufacturer, then the product is directly transferred from the manufacturer to the customer. That is the direct to customer model. So you have to draw these two models, traditional model as well as the new business model, and then you can describe the benefits, such as using this direct to customer model, the manufacturer can sell at lower prices, and also the products can be produced according to the customer orders, and also the payments are received early because there are no middle people. And another benefit is you can speed up the new product release cycles, and also you can improve the decision making process also, because you can get the feedback from the customer to the manufacturer directly, right? Those are the points that you can have in the description. Next, we will move on to the sample question 3. It asks to illustrate and briefly discuss the first 7 stages of the e-transformation roadmap, emphasizing on the external and internal processes of e-transformation. It also asks to illustrate and briefly describe. So now you know, when you get such question, you have to draw the diagram first. But this question is a little bit important to discuss, because most of the students confuse when they get a question about the e-transformation roadmap, right? There are 7 stages in 7 E's in e-transformation. So the students become very bit confused when answering this question, because they write the 7 E's in e-transformation to the e-transformation roadmap. So This is the 7 E's model in E-transformation, but this is not the answer that you have to write when the question is asked to write the 7 stages of the E-transformation roadmap, right? So this is the E-transformation roadmap. The question asks to write the 7 stages. That means the external processes, the internal processes, and the stages that you find when you combine the external processes and the internal processes together. So the 7 stages are, let's start from the external processes. Basic website, first one. Second one, interactive site. Third one, e-commerce site. And let's move on to the internal processes. So the fourth stage, effective individual, effective team. Fifth stage, sixth one, effective organization. And the seventh stage is convergence. So those are the 7 stages of the E-transformation roadmap. When we marked the question, we found a lot of answers containing the 7 E's in E-transformation. That is wrong. So you have to write the 7 stages of the E-transformation roadmap. So let's see what you have to write for this question. It contains 30 marks, I guess. Yes, 30 marks. So you have to discuss each and every stage. Basic website. First you have to draw the diagram, and then one by one you can give a brief description. So first, the basic website. That means the organization has a website that contains information about the product. The customer can just go to the website and view the details, right? And there is a page for FAQs. So a person from the company will answer the questions of the customers. That is the basic website. And then the interactive site. First stage is basic website, second stage interactive site. This interactive site is a dynamic website. It provides two-way flow of information, like queries. It runs queries and then it answers to the questions of the customers. And it has a database also. But the difference between the next stage and that means the e-commerce website and the interactive website is, e-commerce website provides facilities to the monetary transactions, right? That means you can do payments using the website, but this interactive website does not provide that facility to you. So this next stage, e-commerce website, it contains all the features of the interactive website. A part of those features, this e-commerce website provides facilities to do the financial transactions. So this e-commerce website uses payment gateways to do the online payments. So security is a very important aspect in these commercial e-commerce websites. Those are the key points that you have to write when you are describing about the e-commerce websites. And then internal processes. Earlier we described about external processes, then internal processes. First one, effective individual. These effective individuals uses standalone software in their computers, such as accounting packages, payroll software, and spreadsheets, word processors, and so on, to do their day-to-day activities. So the individual becomes more effective by using these computer systems. So that is the description about effective individual. And then next stage, effective team. A group of effective individuals create an effective team. So this effective team uses computer networks to there are particular functional units of the organization, such as they use software systems, separate software systems to accounting department, to production department, marketing department, and so on. But these systems are not connected with each other. So the team is very effective doing things together, right? That is the description about effective team. And then effective organization, sixth stage. This effective organization uses ERP systems, intranet, and a lot of security systems, password protection things, and so on. So the organization has become very effective because they have effective individuals, and a group of effective individuals, that means effective team, and effective teams are combined or connected with each other using networks, right? That is effective organization. And then in the convergence stage, that means the seventh stage, you combine effective organization with the e-commerce website, right? So here the organization has achieved integration of all information it needs to support all business processes and to interact with its business partners. That is the meaning of this convergence stage. So those are the 7 stages that you have to follow when you transform your business into e-business, right? So for that question, you have to draw the diagram and just give a brief introduction, description about the each and every stage. Then we'll see another question. So this question is about a statement. It gives a statement and it asks to write whether it is true or false and to justify the answer, right? So the question has 2 sections. It asks to write whether it is true or false and to justify your answer. So it contains 20 marks. So these marks are divided into 2. A part of the marks are given to the answer, that means true or false, and the rest of the marks are given to the description or the justification, right? So you have to first write whether this is true or false, just true or false, right? Students forget to write true or false, they just write the justification, so they do not get the full marks for this type of question. So you have to be careful when answering the questions to go through the question deeply and get into mind what is the expectation of that question, right? So this statement, let's see the statement. It asks when the bargaining power of substitutes are high in an industry, a company could use the full service provider model to help the company to negate the force. The bargaining power of substitutes are high. So as a solution for that problem, they say that the company can use full service provider model in their e-business applications. You have to find out whether that is true or false. So according to this statement, what do you think? Is it true or false? It is true, right? So first you have to give the answer true, because the bargaining power of substitutes are high. That means there are a lot of substitutes for your particular product, right? For example, if you take a soft drink, you produce a particular soft drink and there are a lot of other soft drinks available in the market. So the bargaining power of substitutes are high. Then you can use full service provider model to overcome this issue, because without providing just the soft drink, you can provide some other things with your product, like so many things you can think of. Another example is, think you are a person that provides airline tickets, right? That is your product. Without providing just an airline ticket, you can provide the hotel facilities, right, to the customer, as well as you can provide transportation to your customer, right? Without providing just one product, you can combine other things related to your product and give it to the customer as a bundle. So, the substitutes, that means the other service providers, the airline ticket providers, they do not provide the other facilities with the ticket. So, the customers tend to buy your product without going to the other people, right? So, you have to think whether this is true or false. You have to think carefully what happens if I use this model. You have to use the knowledge or the description of the particular model to the given statement and evaluate and write the answer. So, just write true and then give the description, right? And then better if you can draw the diagram, the full service provider model diagram, right, and show. Then you will get full marks for this type of questions, right? And a part of the theoretical questions, the question paper contains some questions that checks the general knowledge. That means whether the student can apply the theories or the concepts that he or she learned during the class in the examination, right? So, this is such question. The question asks, Dell Computer Company uses a direct to customer approach in doing business where there are no middlemen. The company also makes to order rather than sell pre-manufactured products. Briefly explain 5 advantages of this approach. A long question, but it asks a small thing. Mainly the students get confused when they get these type of questions. They do not think what is the things that are hidden in the question, and they just ignore these type of questions. Don't do that, because these questions are very easy and you can just get full marks for these type of questions, right? You have learned a lot of theories in the class, so you have to just memorize those theories and think what is the answer. So, here the Dell Computer Company uses direct to customer approach. Then you can ignore the middle part of the question. So, the question asks, briefly explain 5 advantages of this approach. It just asks to write 5 advantages of direct to customer approach. That is the question, right? Don't be scared of these type of questions that asks you to apply your theoretical knowledge, right? It contains 20 marks, 5 advantages. You have to just mention the advantage and give a brief description. For 5 advantages, 1 advantage gets 4 marks. 4 into 5, 20 marks. So, these are some of the advantages that you can find. Direct to customer approach. That means direct to customer approach means produces the products, and then those products will be going to the customer directly. There are no middlemen, right? So, the producers can sell at lower prices, right? So, you have to just mention the advantage, give a description in 1 or 2 sentences, and then build to customer order, another advantage. then you can receive the payment earlier because there are no middlemen, right? You can just get the payment directly from the customer. Speed up the new product release cycles. You get the feedback from the customers very quickly, so you can improve your production cycle using the feedback of the customers, and you can speed up the new production release cycles. Another thing, use customer data to provide customized value added products. In the direct to customer model, customers are directly related, connected to the product developer, right? So, the product developer has the details about the customers, right? There are no dealers or retailers. So, the person who produce the product has the details about the customer. So, you can use those data and prepare the customized value added services. And another thing is proactive decision making. You can quickly make the decisions, and also these decisions can relate to the customer requirements. So, you can improve the customer satisfaction because of this direct to customer approach. The question has a lot of details, and it relates to a real world example, Dell Computer Company, but at the end it asks something very simple. Write the advantages of the direct to customer approach, right? So, these are the things that the students do, the mistakes that the students do in the examination. So, these things we've got to know during the paper marking process. So, the students have to be careful when reading the question and writing the answers. You have to, the summary is, you have to carefully read the question, whether it asks you to draw the diagram or just to explain the things, or whether it asks you to write whether the statement is true or false. You have to focus each and every part of the question when you are answering, right? So, if you have focused each and every part of the question, you can get the full marks for the particular question. Do not skip the questions. Another thing that the students are doing is they don't answer the questions. Don't do that. Write something, right? You have knowledge up to some extent, right? You have basic knowledge, even you know what is direct to customer approach. You can just think and write according to your general knowledge. Write something, then the people who are marking the papers can give marks to your answers. If you have not answered the questions, then we can't give any mark to you, right? So, be careful, read the questions clearly and focus on the each and every part of the question and answer for every questions. Okay, so more details you can find in the virtual learning environment of BIT degree program. If you are a registered user, you can find you can log on to this virtual learning environment, and the detailed syllabus is available there, and also teacher materials, that means the slides are also available in that virtual learning environment. So, you can download those information and use